Welcome back. We are jumping into another deep dive today, lesson 158 from the course.
Hello, everyone. It's good to be with you as we explore these ideas together.
And remember, if you have any thoughts or questions along the way, you can always send them to ACIM at theworldharmonyproject.org. You can also find us on TikTok at the World Harmony Project.
And today's lesson is one that carries a beautiful promise. Today, I learned to give as I receive.
That phrase itself sounds like it holds layers of meaning. Before we unpack it, let's just take a few minutes to read the lesson itself.
Today, I learned to give as I receive. What has been given you? The knowledge that you are a mind, in mind and purely mind, sinless forever, wholly unafraid, because you were created out of love, nor have you left your source, remaining as you were created. This was given you as knowledge which you cannot lose. It was given as well to every living thing, for by that knowledge only does it live. You have received all this. No one who walks the world but has received it. It is not this knowledge which you give, for that is what creation gave. All this cannot be learned. What then are you to learn to give today? Our lesson yesterday evoked a theme found early in the text. Experience cannot be shared directly in the way that vision can. The revelation that the Father and the Son are one will come in time to every mind. Yet is that time determined by the mind itself, not taught. The time is set already. It appears to be quite arbitrary. Yet there is no step along the road that anyone takes but by chance. It has already been taken by him, although he has not yet embarked on it. For time but seems to go in one direction, we but undertake a journey that is over. Yet it seems to have a future still unknown to us. Time is a trick, a sleight of hand, a vast illusion in which figures come and go as if by magic. Yet there is a plan behind appearances that does not change. The script is written. When experience will come to end, your doubting has been set, for we but see the journey from the point at which it ended, looking back on it, imagining we make it once again, reviewing mentally what has gone by. A teacher does not give experience because he did not learn it. It revealed itself to him at its appointed time. But vision is his gift. This he can give directly, for Christ's knowledge is not lost because he has a vision he can give to anyone who asks. The Father's will and his are joined in knowledge, yet there is a vision which the Holy Spirit sees because the mind of Christ beholds it too. Here is the joining of the world of doubt and shadows made with the intangible. Here is a quiet place within the world made holy by forgiveness and by love. Here are all contradictions reconciled, for here the journey ends. Experience unlearned, untaught, unseen is merely there. This is beyond our goal, for it transcends what needs to be accomplished. Our concern is with Christ's vision. This we can attain. Christ's vision has one law. It does not look upon a body and mistake it for the Son whom God created. It beholds a light beyond the body, an idea beyond what can be touched, a purity undimmed by errors, pitiful mistakes, and fearful thoughts of guilt from dreams of sin. It sees no separation, and it looks on everyone, on every circumstance, all happenings and all events, without the slightest fading of the light it sees. This can be taught, and must be taught by all who would achieve it. It requires but the recognition that the world cannot give anything that faintly can compare with this in value, nor set up a goal that does not merely disappear when this has been perceived. And this you give today. See no one as a body. Greet him as the Son of God he is, acknowledging that he is one with you in holiness. This can be taught, and must be taught by all who would achieve it. It requires but the recognition that the world cannot give anything that faintly can compare with this in value, nor set up a goal that does not merely disappear when this has been perceived. And this you give today. Thus are his sins forgiven him, for Christ has vision that has power to overlook them all. In his forgiveness are they gone. Unseen by one, they merely disappear, because a vision of the holiness that lies beyond them comes to take their place. It matters not what form they took, nor how enormous they appeared to be, nor who seemed to be hurt by them. They are no more. And all effects they seem to have are gone with them, undone and never to be done. This can be taught, and must be taught by all who would achieve it. It requires but the recognition that the world cannot give anything that faintly can compare with this in value, nor set up a goal that does not merely disappear when this has been perceived. And this you give today. Thus do you learn to give as you receive, and thus Christ's vision looks on you as well. This lesson is not difficult to learn. If you remember in your brother, you but see yourself. If he be lost in sin, so must you be. If you see light in him, your sins have been forgiven by yourself. Each brother whom you meet today provides another chance to let Christ's vision shine on you and offer you the peace of God. This can be taught and must be taught by all who would achieve it. It requires but the recognition that the world cannot give anything that faintly can compare with this in value, nor set up a goal that does not merely disappear when this has been perceived. And this you give today. It matters not when revelation comes, for that is not of time. Yet time has still one gift to give. in which true knowledge is reflected in a way so accurate its image shares its unseen holiness, its likeness shines with its immortal love. We practice seeing with the eyes of Christ today, and by the holy gifts we give, Christ's vision looks upon ourselves as well.
Today I learned to give as I receive. Okay, so when you first hear that, it's easy for the mind to jump straight to that idea of fairness, right? Like a balanced exchange, maybe tit for tat.
Yeah, that's a common first thought. But this lesson immediately pivots us. It takes us beyond those transactional ideas.
It does. It makes it really clear. This isn't about material stuff, not what we do with our hands or our wallets.
No, it's all about the mind. The giving and receiving happen there through how we perceive, how we choose to see.
And that perspective is what makes it so deeply transformative. It invites us into a much richer understanding of who we actually are.
And our connection, our shared spiritual reality.
Exactly. The lesson points right back to our inherent nature.
Yes, it starts by reminding us what's already been given, that fundamental truth. We are pure mind, part of the divine mind, created from perfect love itself.
Sinless forever, wholly unafraid. That's quite a statement.
It is. And crucially, this isn't something we have to earn or strive for. It's knowledge, a given reality.
A gift that's foundational. And the lesson says this applies to every living thing, not just us. This inherent wholeness, this sinlessness and safety, it's the bedrock underneath everything.
So acknowledging that complete receiving that's already a fact, that's the first part of give as I receive, understanding what we have received.
Okay, so then it shifts to what we learn to give. And it makes that really critical distinction between experience and vision.
Right. The experience, like true spiritual revelation, that direct knowing of oneness with the Father that unfolds in its own time, it reveals itself to the mind.
The lesson says a teacher can't actually give you that direct experience. They didn't learn it in a way that's transferable, like information.
Exactly. It revealed itself to them. But what can be taught, what can be shared, and what is, in fact, our gift to give, that's Christ's vision.
Okay, so what exactly is Christ's vision, according to this?
It's described as a specific way of seeing, a perception that consciously looks past the temporary stuff, the appearances.
Like physical bodies, perceived flaws, mistakes, what the world calls sin.
Precisely. It looks beyond all that to see the eternal light, the holiness, the true essence of the Son of God that's always there underneath.
The example of seeing the actor beneath the costume is helpful there.
It is. So this vision, this way of seeing, that is what we're learning to give today. Choosing to see everyone, anyone, not as a flawed body, but as the sinless Son of God they inherently are.
And this is where the as I receive part really comes alive, that reciprocal nature.
Yes, because the lesson explains that when we extend this vision to someone else, when we look past their errors, their ego stuff, and see their true holiness.
Well, forgiving them, but also somehow forgiving ourselves at the same time.
Exactly. Because as the Course teaches elsewhere, we tend to project our own unconscious guilt. We see the sins in others because we believe deep down they're real in us.
So by choosing to see the light and holiness in my brother, I'm actually recognizing and making real the light and holiness in me.
Precisely. Overlooking their perceived sins literally releases our perceived sins. What we give out, we get back instantly in our own perception.
That's incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
And liberating.
Absolutely liberating. The lesson even says when Christ's vision looks on a sin, it's gone. Poof. And its effects disappear too.
Now, that doesn't mean denying something harmful might have happened in the world of form, right?
No, it's not about pretending actions don't have consequences on that level. It's about rising above the level of perception where those illusions, those grievances, hold power over our minds.
So when you see the holiness, there's simply nothing left to forgive. The sin isn't part of that higher vision.
It's just not seen from that perspective. There's only light to behold.
This ties into that tricky concept of time as an illusion, doesn't it? That can feel really disorienting when we're living day to day.
It can. The lesson suggests that from a, let's say, higher viewpoint, our whole spiritual journey, our awakening process is actually already complete. The script is written.
So it reframes our current experience.
Yes, less like a struggle towards some far-off goal, and more like we're mentally reviewing a journey that has already reached its joyful conclusion.
That doesn't mean our choices now don't matter, though.
Not at all, but it puts them in a context of peace. Realizing the truth isn't a race, it's just about shifting perception, which can happen right now.
And that shift, that act of giving the vision of holiness to others, that's how we experience the peace of God for ourselves.
That's it. Every single interaction, every relationship, no matter how brief or seemingly insignificant, becomes a sacred chance for this exchange, this grace. This is how we learn to give as we have already received that fundamental gift of our true nature.
And this isn't just, lofty philosophy. There are practical ways to apply this. For instance, thinking about maybe a challenging meeting coming up or a difficult conversation you need to have.
Right. Instead of going in armored up, bracing for conflict, focusing on all the potential pitfalls.
You can pause, take a breath beforehand, and consciously affirm something like, I choose to see the light beyond this form. I choose to see the Son of God here.
That doesn't mean you ignore the practical issues that need discussing, not at all. But it shifts your internal stance. It opens the door for a more compassionate and likely more effective engagement.
Okay, or what about when you catch yourself stewing over something, replaying an old grievance, feeling that resentment bubble up towards someone? We all do it.
Very relatable. The lesson offers a way to work with that. Deliberately practice overlooking.
So instead of mentally rehearsing what they did wrong, you consciously shift your focus.
Yes, you could deliberately bring to mind their inherent goodness, maybe just a single instance where you saw their light, even briefly, or simply acknowledge that the grievance itself is a projection in your mind.
And then consciously choose to let it go, understanding that releasing their perceived sin is how you release your own.
Exactly, it's an active choice for your own peace.
And here's a modern one. Scrolling through social media, seeing posts filled with conflict, judgment, things that look like sins.
Oh, yeah. That knee-jerk reaction of judgment or condemnation can be almost instantaneous sometimes.
It's so easy to get sucked in. But this gives us another angle.
A perfect practice ground. Catch yourself before you dive into the judgment. Pause and mentally extend that forgiveness, that Christ's vision, to everyone involved.
Recognizing that underneath the appearances, the roles they're playing, everyone is fundamentally the Son of God.
Doing that helps you maintain your own inner equilibrium, your peace, even when the external world looks chaotic or conflicting.
So, wrapping up Lesson 158, it truly reframes giving and receiving, doesn't it? It pulls us away from thinking about material exchanges.
And into a profound spiritual dynamic. It starts with that foundational assertion. Our true nature is pure, sinless mind, created from love. That's the gift we've already received.
That inherent wholeness, realizing that already changes so much. It takes away that feeling of lack or needing to earn worthiness.
It really does. For me, that's a constant anchor to return to.
Yeah, me too. Then the core practice becomes cultivating this Christ's vision. Actively learning to look past the bodies, the mistakes.
And see the light, the holiness that's inherently present in everyone. It's a direct challenge to the ego's whole way of seeing the world through judgment and separation.
I find that requires real intention. It's easy to slip back into old habits of perception.
Oh, absolutely. It's a moment-by-moment practice.
And the real engine here is understanding that reciprocity. Extending that vision, seeing the light in another, is simultaneously forgiving ourselves.
Because giving is receiving in this context. We allow the same light we offer others to shine on us, dissolving our own illusions of sin and separation. We are fundamentally connected.
That connection is key, recognizing our shared identity. I think that's where the peace really lands.
Definitely. This reciprocal act, choosing to see with love, it's not just theory. It's the practical path to deep inner peace and recognizing that shared, eternal connection. It's how the truth of who we are becomes our actual lived experience.
It really does redefine everything. Thinking about the idea that our spiritual journey is already complete from a higher perspective, that time is simply a review, genuinely takes so much pressure off.
I know what you mean. For me, focusing on the practical application of consciously choosing to see the light beyond appearances is key, especially when faced with challenging situations or people. That deliberate shift in perception feels like such a powerful tool. And the immediate sense of peace that comes from it is proof that this isn't just theory. It truly changes your experience.
Absolutely. And if you're listening and these concepts feel dense or overwhelming, please be patient with yourself.
These lessons and the course itself are deeply layered. It's not about getting it all perfectly on the first try or even the 100th.
That patience is so important. Just engaging with the lesson, sitting with the ideas for even a few minutes each day is planting seeds.
Yeah.
We're all in this path of remembering and awakening together, learning to apply these truths little by little.
Exactly. We're figuring it out together. So thank you for joining us on this exploration today. Keep engaging with the lessons, keep practicing, and trust the process.
Until next time, may you discover the peace that comes from giving as you receive.